Hi class, my name is Asa Stravler and I'm doing my diversity, I'm doing my presentation on diversity with the topic women. So I'm sorry for uploading this late. I'm having problems with YouTube, but this is the first slide. The first question is, what is diversity? Diversity, according to the Merriam-Webster dictionary, can be defined as the state of having different people of different cultures, roots, and backgrounds in the same organization. Now, you will notice that I did not use the word race. I did not say race because most people define it as, or even most dictionaries define diversity as a state of having different people of different races. Now, I did not use that, not that I'm trying to say they're wrong or anything, but I learned that there's only one race, which is the human race. So that's just my point of view. And an organization can be viewed as melting pots, and this is because people of different backgrounds and cultures come together and share and learn about each other's culture. This brings about a decrease in the level of ignorance and in that particular organization, and broadens the workers' pool of knowledge. Now, I'm saying this because up to today, I haven't heard or seen any organization that consists of employees of the same background, same country, or same roots. Now, with the roots, okay, they might have maybe the same roots, but I have not seen a, a specific or a particular group of people of the same behavior and everything. No, I haven't. And this is a melting pot because organizations are melting pots because of diversity. Because when you work with your fellow employee, they become like, you engage in communication, you engage in activities, they become like work family, and you talk to them and you talk about each other and you learn where they're from, and it's even better to even learn some of their roots, some of maybe their languages, like little slangs. But it is very good to know about your employee or wherever he comes from, because it might help. It might help in the future. Now, second slide. I'm talking about the merits of diversity. Diversity brings about different views and points from a woman's perspective. This is a major factor because taking into consideration a product like female products, the best ideas will come from women. Now, women play an important role. They play an important role in manufacturing certain products, especially when those products are female products. Now, it's logical. It makes sense for a woman to have the best advice or best knowledge on she what she wears or what she puts on. So employing women in manufacturing organizations that include organizations that make female products is is beneficial not only to not only to women but to the company. Also, diversity creates a peaceful and stable environment for women to work without being bothered or without bothering about certain adverse circumstances like sexual harassment. This is because the law punishes those who take part in sexual harassment. So women know that women know that they're protected by the law, especially when it comes to sexual harassment. So it makes it more comfortable for them to work, and when you make an environment comfortable for an individual to work, they tend to work good. Now, making it comfortable for them to work also boosts up the rate of production just because they're comfortable. So now I'm moving on to the next slide. So furthermore, still on the merits of diversity. Diversity serves as a means of informal education of several fields. Men at the same workplace as women tend to engage and communicate more often with women and vice versa, which brings about more knowledge on how to do a lot of things or just in general brings about the gain of knowledge, which is beneficial to both genders. Now, most men in America are married to women. Now, if you have if you have female coworkers, and for some reason you are having a problem with your wife or with a friend, or you need help, it's logical for women to know most of the time the answer or the best option to tell you or the best option to give you. And it serves as informal education because informal education is not curriculum based, it's just watch, see, listen, and do. So it's basically, it helps a lot because it's faster, and you gain knowledge. So you benefit, you get benefits from having women in an organization. Certain personal benefits like advice on how to do certain things, or even maybe how to cook, or unrelated stuff to work, stuff that don't, you understand what I'm saying. So now I'm going to the next slide, which is the demerits of diversity. Okay, diversity in organizations bring about change in culture to suit current environment. For example, looking at an organization like construction sites, supposing a woman is to be hired as a construction worker, certain cultures that the male workers have will have to change to prevent certain circumstances like lawsuits. Examples of some of those cultures include catcalling. Now, catcalling is basically where the guys, because construction sites are predominantly men. Now, catcalling is where during their breaks they whistle at ladies that pass by, and some now if a woman is supposed to be hired there, she might take this personally and file complaint about it, which will make things awkward in the construction site in the workplace because change is not something where it just happens and you just adapt that fast. Change takes time and sometimes it's annoying. So doing that alone will switch the moods of the workers or they might not even feel like they're at the same place or just because of minor just because of a less let me put it this way. Just because of one or two people that were hired, just because of them should not be a reason to change a long time a long time culture that has been in the workplace. And we even spoke about this in class that although it's not fair for one person to just come through and the whole thing changes, but to prevent or to keep a healthy and safe workplace atmosphere, you have to let it go. You have to let that culture go. And that's where I think Laurie brought about the firefighter situation where the guys have uh, pictures of females up there, and right when they got a female firefighter, they had to take it down. And yes, if they didn't take it down, they might have gotten fined or they might have had a lawsuit for sexual harassment or something. So they had to embrace that change, even though they did not really like it. But it saved them and it saved the company a good name. Again, diversity may serve as that distractions in the workplace. For example, in business organizations, there are many attractive women that may unintentionally distract distract the male distract the male workers. This again serves as opportunities or they serve as opportunities for lawsuits. Not that I'm saying that some women at jobs do that intentional just to get money or just to jeopardize somebody they don't like, but diversity. Let's say we have a female coworker and she's fond of wearing, let's say, tight clothes. Now, doing that will definitely be a distraction in the workplace because supposing it's lunch or something like that, and she's just walking, it's natural that some guys will look and now this is some females. Well, yes, I changed my mind. Some females think they could do some females think they could wear that and not get looked at, which I don't think is right because when you do that, I think it's natural for I think when you do that intentionally, like wear tight clothes or although it's although like it's official and everything, but I think just wearing tight clothes and having and a guy looking at you and you file a complaint for you think you're being watched, it just creates a it just creates an awkward atmosphere where like it just creates an awkward atmosphere where like even I'll just say it could I'll just say it brings about it brings about a weird atmosphere because some people may be friends and everything, but certain laws, like what Jennifer said, certain laws that you can't touch above the arm, above the upper part of the arm. Like if you're good friends with somebody over there and you happen to hug them or something like that, you could lose your job just because an outsider or somebody saw that and reported the situation. Now, in order for the company to save their name, they might have to just let you go, just to prove to their customers that that is not what's going on in the company, in the organization. Whereas that was not the situation. There was no, they did not even think of sexually harassing anybody. It was just a natural thing. So I think it brings about a weird atmosphere there, which is not healthy because it's not economically it's not economically beneficial to the workers. I'll put it that way. So now I'm on to the next slide, and that's the impacts on organizations. Some of these impacts include it brings about arguments. Arguments bring about different perspectives, especially when it comes to brainstorming ideas for product manufacturing. In this situation, it is beneficial because it brings about more options. Also, when certain organizations decide they want to balance their gender in the company, they set out openings for women, which serve as motivation to other women to strive to be successful, meaning more women will work extra hard to achieve such a position, which will also make them more, which will also make them more qualified because they're striving to get there, so they will have as much qualifications as they need to be there. So, talking about the first one, arguments. Now, when you have arguments and brainstorming, it brings about different ideas, different perspectives, which bring about profit because the more in manufacturing, the more ideas you have, the more products you have, is the more, how do I put it, is the more benefits you have because if one does not go well, there are more options for you to go for to manufacture. So this is very beneficial, the argumentative part. And also and also for women, for the motivation aspect, I think it helps. I think it sends out a message that there are different openings for housewives and people who think, some women who think it's only a guy's job, so they back out. Just hearing that motivates them and they will strive to get there and they will do their best, which means productivity will increase because they know it's a rare position and they might be easily replaced because it's high in demand. So they will put in the work they need to do, and that will bring about profits in the organizations. So that's the end of my presentation. I'm sorry I was this late again. I was having problems uploading on YouTube, so I just finally did it on my laptop and uploaded it to YouTube instead of using YouTube's camera. Hope I see you around the school, and it was nice being in class with you.